Talk about Caleb and the weapons that he walks into as a rookie. That was not the case for C.J. Stroud necessarily. He certainly elevated everybody, but you see who they have added this offseason, including Diggs, Joe Mixon, 3 potential starters on defense, including Danielle Hunter. First team in NFL history to add a 1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard rusher, and a player who had at least 10 sacks in the previous season. And RC, we've had this conversation throughout the day about this Houston team that they didn't seem to be, they were not a well-respected organization because they had been garbage for several years. Yeah. And then it's an amazing 180 just like that. But that's the first step. The next step. How big is the defense going to play a role in that next step?
I think it's large. And D'Amico Ryans has young, talented players on that defense. And let's take a look at what guys like Stingley, Christian Harris, and also Will Anderson were able to do. Stingley was the #3 overall draft pick, drafted before Sauce Gardner, LSU. And now you're going right here. You're going to see a dig and go, and you're going to see Jalen Petrie in this cover 4. He jumps it right here. Watch Stingley overlap this deep ball, but the way he tracks it, catches it with his hands. Those are some of the things that you can't teach, which is why he was drafted so early. Christian Harris from University Lab School in Baton Rouge. Here, you're going to watch him have his eyes on the back. He expands to the tail route, picks it off. This dude ran 4.41, also ran the 100 in high school, ran the 200, and played receiver and corner in Baton Rouge. And Will Anderson Jr., everybody knew he was an absolute stud coming out of Alabama, drafted 3rd overall. We were talking about the space the wide 9 creates, but look at the hand usage from a young player. Now he gets skinny and gets to the quarterback. They're going to be really good offensively, but think about if this team has an opportunity to get up on the scoreboard and the way that those young players can turn the football over.
Jason, I keep talking about the same talking point. You take the first step, try to take the next step. That's something you guys went through in Philadelphia, right? Trying to finally knock down the wall. And it was different than Houston, but still, growth. How does that happen? What is it incremental? Where do you feel it happening among teammates?
Well, a lot of times it's just becoming more familiar with your situation. I mean, the biggest growth oftentimes happens from your rookie year to your second year. There's so many new things. You're entering a new city. You're entering a new league, a new system, new teammates when you're a rookie. All of these things take away and distract from what is happening out on the field. Now he's had a whole year now in off season to become more comfortable, and that stuff makes a big deal. It makes a huge difference in how you prepare and how you play on game day.
Swag, we were talking about comparing Houston to some other teams, maybe like Chicago, and just maybe the neighborhood Houston lives in isn't as rugged, right, in terms of who you're facing, Titans, Colts, and Jaguars. Perhaps that plays a role in their ability to fast track this. Does that seem reasonable?
It seems reasonable. Obviously, your division matters, right, and your path to trying to get there. Tampa went to the playoffs last year because the NFC South was horrid. Now, I don't want to take anything away from them, but when you look at, to me, this is about C.J. Stroud. One, it's about the maturity level, to know that I can bring a Stephon Diggs and I can have a Nico Collins that I just paid and I can get a Tank Dell back. All 3 are explosive wide receivers. All 3 can make a play at any given moment. But more importantly, now I'm going to put a defense together. You know how we always talk about when the young quarterback is there and you realize he's good, you build a team before you have to give him $55 million a year. This is a great situation Houston is in, but I also think it speaks to the maturity of C.J. Stroud to be able to handle this. I remember one of his first interviews when they got Stephon Diggs, and people were asking, like, how you going to distribute this ball? I'm going to throw it to the open man. Like, for a second-year quarterback. Well, but we know, like, we had conversations last year about Josh trying to force Stephon Diggs the ball to keep him happy.
No doubt.
And so I just think it speaks to when you get that symbol at the most important position, it changes not only the mindset of the team, but it changes how the team goes about business. You and Ryan, you and RC have mentioned it 100 times. This organization was in purgatory, bro. Like nobody wanted. They had.
Be real. They was in hell.
They was in hell, bro. They had really good players trying to get.
They weren't in between.
Like it was good players trying to get out of Houston.
I do want to ask though, like, is winning the division a step forward for the Texans at this point?
Not this year.
No.
Not this year.
That's what's expected.
No.
Yeah, and they're still in the AFC. There is some tough competition across the board.
There's deep water. We understand that. And look, I mean, I'm sure Colts fans are like, look, if we got that 4th down, it's probably us. But that's the razor thin margin.
Well, it wasn't.
Having a guy like Stroud helps.